This is a national emergency.
Detonators charged.
For introduction, Oppenheimer is a scientist that has been charged to be a bomb maker in the World War II. His goal is to tame the atom and forge the history deadliest weapon. But in this lab that he's been charged have been more than beakers and equation. Truth collide with suspicion, ambition with goal for the bomb making and the killing of the bomb. And every handshake might trigger the apocalypse, which is the hierarchy power, where the bomb atom will be bombed into the other city. And let's dive into the high stakes drama of Oppenheimer, where the workplace is tension and will explode bigger than any bomb.
Let him go. It won't work.
For the first, our critical incident is about the interaction at workplace. And when Edward Teller, he cannot solve the calculation of the hydrogen bomb. So the other scientists mad at him. So he expressed his desire to leave the Manhattan Project. And Oppenheimer, in that moment, he had managed to rearrange all the work and pursue Edward to not leave the project. From this interaction, Oppenheimer prioritized the stability and progress of the project. He minimized the destruction and ensured that Teller dispatcher did not negatively impact the team morale and also their scientific progress. While Teller departure eventually opened the door for the hydrogen bomb development, Oppenheimer leadership during the situation focused on navigating immediate challenges and preserving the core goal of the project. For the second critical situation, it is the politeness between the researcher. Oppenheimer had meet up with Albert Einstein to talk about the hydrogen bomb calculation, and they talk very politely, even though they have a different different principle and knowledge. They still respect each other, and this effect suggests that they are grasping the seriousness of their situation, which is war, and they also handling the immense pressure with grace, and it is shown that they are very resilient and maturity. And for the recommendation, I suggest that we always need to respect each other, although we have a different principle or opinion or knowledge different from them. The situation, it is about the hierarchy status. Oppenheimer had met up with President Truman to talk about the post-war after the bombing from the atom, and President Truman want Oppenheimer to manage another project, which is the hydrogen bomb. But Oppenheimer, he have been mentally sick because he concerned about the people that have been killed in the bombing, which is 100 millions in the Japan. So he feel guilty about the bombing, so he don't want to manage another project, the hydrogen bomb. But President Truman, using his hierarchy power, scold Oppenheimer and call Oppenheimer a crybaby because he don't want to take risks. Although people will blame President Truman as the one that bombing, not him. So he kicked out Oppenheimer from his office, and scold him and tell him that he is not the one that responsible. It will be the President Truman. So from the effect, we can see that this is the portrayal of internal conflict and moral questioning and a power dynamic between scientific responsibility and political authority. For the recommendation, we need to engage in an open and honest dialogue with Oppenheimer, actively listening to his concern why he don't want to manage another bomb, and acknowledging the moral dimension of the bomb use could have faster trust and collaboration between them. That's all from me. Thank you.
Keep the Rad Lab here.
Critical incident number 4. Expressing idea and opinion. Oppenheimer was appointed as the scientific director of the project, and he was responsible for assembling a team of top scientists, engineers, and researchers. Oppenheimer, along with the scientists like Enrico Fermi and Richard Feynman, gathered there to discuss the project and recruit talented scientists. The goal was to bring together experts in various fields such as physics, chemistry, and engineering to work on the development of the atomic bomb. So the effect of this critical incident is Oppenheimer was successful in assembling a brilliant and diverse team, and the Manhattan Project ultimately led to the successful creation of atomic bomb that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Recommendation: Scientists should know about the details of this project because it is involved life.
Albert.
Next, critical incident 5. Initiating and closing conversation. In this movie, climatic sequence, Oppenheimer speaks with the Einstein about his fear that the development of the atomic bomb would set off the domino effect of nuclear weaponry that will eventually wipe all humanity. In the movie's concluding montage, which allow nuclear weapons being detonated all across the world, Oppenheimer final words, "I believe we did," allude to his awareness that the development of the atomic bomb had in fact set off this catastrophic chain reaction. So what is the effect? The effect is Oppenheimer sped up the planet-ravaging race in nuclear weapon building, as every other country knows that the huge bomb can be built by atom and hydrogen. After the event of Oppenheimer, the physicist became an advocate against the creation of nuclear weapon, especially the creation of the hydrogen bomb. Recommendation: make sure everything we do, we should know the consequences that will come because it involves the country and can cause a bigger war. Expressing condolences, Oppenheimer entered a small room where he gave a speech. Americans are victoriously stomping on the wooden floorboards. However, while giving the speech, Oppenheimer imagines a victim of the bombing and the sight of the absolutely terrifying. J. Robert Oppenheimer delivered a notable speech on 1695, reflecting on the Manhattan Project and the use of atomic weapons in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This speech is commonly known as the Oppenheimer speech or the AEC speech, which stands for Atomic Energy Commission speech. Oppenheimer had been appointed as the chairman of the General Advisory Committee of the newly formed United States Atomic Energy Commission. So what is the effect? The effect is that Oppenheimer's speech had a significant impact on the public perception and awareness of the destructive potential of nuclear weapons. It contributed to the growing global conversation about nuclear disarmament and arms control. The recommendation: Oppenheimer used a Bhagavad Gita quote, "Now I am become dead, the destroyer of world," highlight the profound moral and ethical responsibility scientists have when their work lead to destructive outcome. This underscores the importance of considering the ethical implication of scientific advancement.
This time there's another man.
Critical Incident 7. Saving Face. Colonel Pesh, an intelligence officer with the US Army, is shown in the scene questioning J. Robert Oppenheimer about his purported membership in the Communist Party. Colonel Pash is seeking to gather any and all information that can point to the Communist Party. Tension is raised by this made-up encounter, which also gives Oppenheimer and the other scientists a new level of psychological and political turmoil. For the effects, Oppenheimer is uncomfortable and finds himself having to choose his comments carefully because of Pash's intimidating demeanor and persistent questioning. Oppenheimer cautiously selected his words when speaking with Colonel Pash in order to safeguard everyone who was collaborating with him. This demonstrates to his subordinates what a capable leader he can be by saving their jobs. For the recommendation, Oppenheimer and Pash's conversation ought to be incisive and tense. Oppenheimer's deliberate word choice should be seen as an attempt to stay true to himself while negotiating the political minefield. This demonstrates how crucial it is to choose our words carefully so that we don't say or tell others the wrong things and information. Now moving forward to our critical incidents 8, making decisions, captures the greater ramifications and historical significance of the Trinity test. The atomic bomb's development required a significant amount of teamwork, which set the stage for a detailed analysis of the moral and ethical challenges the participating scientists faced. The portrayal of the decision to move forward with the test in spite of the risk highlights the significance at the choice taken at that particular moment. For the effects, everyone involved in the Trinity test was extremely proud of their work during the bomb-making process, and the test was a success. It shows how the scientists and the army may collaborate to achieve the objective. Oppenheimer and the scientists are prompted to consider the moral challenges associated with scientific discoveries and their influence on society by depicting the Trinity test as a pivotal moment in history. For the recommendation, a range of viewpoints on the ethical implications of scientific discoveries can be obtained through discussions or interview with the historians, ethicists, or scientists. Without a doubt, this will encourage progress in the entire world. It is possible to create a more peaceful and a better future by encouraging society to reflect on by making a good decisions. It will shape the future in the right way. Last but not least, critical incidents 9. Questionings and negotiating informally. The scene effectively captures the intensity, challenges, and moral dilemmas associated with the Manhattan Project in World War II. Oppenheimer and Grove's exchange of questions and negotiation highlights the pressure on the Allied force to develop an atomic weapon before the Nazis. The dispute is braided with strategic consideration such as utilizing Hitler's anti-Semitism and obtaining resources, which give the narrative layers of complexity. The stress placed on efficient teamwork and the vital security concern draw attention to the intricate issues that arise in the race for atomic dominance. For the effect, the scenario aims to fully immerse the audience in the high-stakes environment of the Manhattan Project, highlighting the seriousness of the situation facing the military authorities and the scientists. It makes Oppenheimer a pivotal player in the undertaking and foreshadows the moral and ethical issues he will encounter at work. The immediacy of the story and its historical context raises tension and anticipation, which prompts an analysis of the moral dilemmas raised by producing a weapon with such a terrible potential. For the recommendation, Oppenheimer accepted Colonel Grove's suggestion to create a terrible weapon for the conflict throughout the scene. Though it was clearly not an easy effort, Oppenheimer managed to accept the agreement. This demonstrates how our ability to negotiate and ask a ton of insightful questions may lead to a satisfactory and a binding agreement between parties. That's all from our group. Thank you